Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the testing Vauxhall Combo van that does not start from cold. Once it's warmed up it starts fine, but if I was to try and start it now first thing in the morning, it just spins over and then fires just before the battery is about to completely go. So in the last video I fitted 4 new glow plugs and it didn't make any difference at all. So the last inexpensive thing that we can try is a diesel filter. I'm going to crack straight on, get that diesel filter removed, have a look at it, and I will cut in and we'll compare that old one with the new one that we've got in the box. It is just another cheap thing to check before we go down the route of them injectors. Saying cheap, that is only an element filter and it was nearly £25. But it was the cheaper one of the two because there was another one that it could have been that was £35. So we'll get that stripped out, get that one fitted and see if that makes any difference. I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit there guys, because I can't. This is obviously all the excess diesel is down here in this tray, and I didn't want to stick this one in all of the dirty diesel, but they are different types of filters. This one's, I don't know if this is original, I need to look it up. I wonder if it's been changed. It's a Wix filter, and this one that we've just got is a Napa, so it's possible that it has been changed, but as you can see they are very similar and they're going to do the same job. So we'll get that one put on there, but first I'm going to clean out this bowl, because I don't know if you can see that there on camera, there is a bit. Yeah, you can just about see that there is a bit of muck in the bottom of there, so I'll get that cleaned out, get that new filter fitted and see if that makes any difference to it at all. It is back running again now, but I didn't backfill the bowl. It has got an electric fuel pump in the fuel tank that does pump it through manually. As soon as I got in there and turned the ignition on, you can hear it all bubbling back, so it is self-bleeding, but I did have to crank it quite a lot to get it to fire up, obviously until the bowl was full. So I'm going to have to turn it off now and let it really cool down before we work out whether that's solved it or not. But again, fingers crossed. So I've got involved, done some live data checks, just run live data across the injectors and various other checks as well while I was there, fuel pressure, etc. And what is coming up on there is glow plug heater 4 circuit open. Now I've just been through and checked all of those and they are fine. So I don't know if that was an old code, obviously, and one of those glow plugs was faulty. So I've now cleared that code. I've just done the leak off test and you would have seen cylinder number 1. In fact, I've still got it here. It's actually almost double all of the other cylinders. So I'm thinking that it could possibly be that. And what I've decided to do is nick one of the injectors out of the other van, actually replace it. I'm going to do a leak off test on the other van first and just pick the best one, take that injector and fit it into cylinder 1, and then unfortunately I'm going to have to let it get cold again, and I'll be performing, I can probably do a leak off test on it today while it's warmed up, but I will have to wait until it gets cold again before I can start it up and see if that has solved the issue. It has, I mean, I know this video is all in one piece for you guys, but I've been doing bits here, bits there over the space of the last sort of couple of days, because I can't test it until it's completely cooled down and got cold again, because once it's warm it does fire straight up. I've done some checks as well down here off of the pump to see if the diesel is running back, and it's not. It seems to be fine. Soon as you take, I've taken the pipe off, I turn the ignition on and there's diesel there instantly, so I don't think we've got a diesel run back problem. I'll get that injector swapped out and then we'll pick up and see if that's made any difference. I know it gets a bit confusing, so I should probably show the reg each time I'm working on the different vans, but I've just come out. I'm going to do a leak off test on this one. I've just warmed it up so it will fire straight up. Got the little leak off tester there that we made up, but I'm looking and you can see 2, 4. This has already had injectors, or someone's had them out and had a play with it, so fingers crossed one of them is good and we can use it for that other van, and if that resolves the issue, we then got one done and then we can get back on this one. But the leak off test is going to tell us a lot anyway, and like I said earlier on in this video, I really should have showed that in the first video for the other van. So let's crack on. So number 1 and 3 on this van are even, and number 2 and number 4 that have already been changed, looks like number 2's shot and number 4 is not much better. So I just took that out the other van and Chris observed it straight away and said that's actually brand new. So that has been replaced in that other van. I'm going to get that fitted in here, let it cool down, and oh, fingers crossed, I hope that does solve it. There's a good chance it's going to be that. It filled up that pot twice as much as all the others. Let's get on and get it fitted. There is just no way of polishing it up or glorifying it. It really is testing. It's not testing my patience, it is what it is, but I've tried so much. Now we are pretty confident it is injector related. The injectors are not supposed to leak off like that. So you would have seen in all those various bits of time lapse throughout various days. I mean, it is actually Monday today, so it is a pain that I can only check this every morning after it's got cold, which makes the job really difficult because I can have a couple of hours messing around on it, then I'll have to stop, let it cool down, and then wait till the next day before I see if what I have tested has made a difference and worked. So in them various videos you would have seen I've done a leak off test, and cylinder number 1, the injector, is US. Number 2 was fine, number 3 was quite bad as well, and number 4 was fine as well. So I put it down to injector 1 and injector 3. So I went out to the other van, and the other van, it clearly said on there in numbers, I think number 2 and number 4 was original, number 1 and number 3 had been changed. So I took those out. We established that they was reasonably new. I did leak test it as well, and those ones were good. So I put them in this van. I started it up, it started straight up, but where I've had them in and out, and I hadn't put new seals on, because I wasn't going to put new seals on, they are pretty much a one-time use, which are those copper squash seals. So one of them was chuffing. So I thought, right, we'll turn it off and we get that sorted straight away. And for those of you that don't know what chuffing means, there wasn't a seal there, and there was vapour and smoke chuffing around the injector. So I had to get that right to see that I'd cured the problem. So I changed the seal, put it back in. It wouldn't start. It would not start for nothing. So I took the injector back out, put the original injector back in, fired straight up. It's just so confusing, and trying to explain it, unless I was videoing constantly for the last week, step by step explaining what it was. So I've put the original injectors back in here, and it fires up, it's on the button again, but only when it's started once already. It will not start first thing in the morning. It does, but the battery is almost completely dead before it starts. And we've got the same issue with the other van. So I've rung around a few different people that are injection specialists, Rochester Diesels, spoke to the chap there, he's been so helpful. I've actually rung him a couple of times, and even he said changing that injector seal and putting that back in has even got him baffled. I was very careful with the ends not to touch anything so that nothing got inside them. So yeah, that is a bit of a mystery. So what I've decided to do is, well, we have decided, after speaking to a couple of specialists, they said don't even mess around trying to replace one or two, just buy a whole set for it. So we've just bit the bullet. We have ordered a new set of injectors for this van, and we're going to put them in, and hopefully that is the end to all of its problems. Fingers crossed again. And then we have got 2 good injectors in this that we can try in the other van, but that's another story. That's another one that we won't worry about until this one's complete. So I'm not actually going to do any more videoing on this van. The next time you hear about this van, it's going to be when it's complete. I'm going to tell you what we did to it and what the problem was with it, because I can't keep cutting in every morning doing a little bit until I find it. It could take 2 weeks, and I think the right road to go down was those injectors. Very frustrating on that little van, guys. I'm not going to lie, very frustrating. If only I could put it into a video and show just how much time I've messed around on that. And altogether, it probably only equates to 2 full days, but it's 2 hours here in the morning, 2 hours there in the morning. I mean, you know when the last video was on it, and I've done something on that van every morning to see if I can rectify that problem. I've put a couple of little pictures in here. Like I've said, me or Chris, we're not diesel experts, and that's not an engine that we've worked on before. So I did do the live data, and I've got I took pictures of everything I've got there. I haven't actually got the machine. I borrowed that machine to do the live data, but I actually took the van there to do it. So I did just take some pictures, but I included one there of the fuel pressure and of the fault with the glow plug. So one of you guys might know what it, that might make more sense to you than it does to me, but we will get to the bottom of it. We've got 4 new injectors on their way. Can't wait for them to come really and chuck them in, but we don't want to drag it out. You know we don't drag videos out, and it would not be fair for me to end this video and say, oh, I'll do another one on it, because that's not going to happen. I'm going to fix that van, and then I'll probably do a video on the other van and include us resolving that issue on that van, because it is a little bit frustrating and it's getting kind of late on us. So we are going to end the video there. As usual, I do hope you did enjoy it. Don't forget, lost the words there. I've lost quite a few of the words today. It's so cold. Constructive criticism. I've tried changing around a little bit the music for the time lapse. I know quite a lot of you are getting bored of the old one, and quite a lot of you, when I put out that Instagram post, said, Rob, stick with the old one. But even though I do it all the time, it is getting a little bit boring to me as well. So I've put a couple in there, and I'll try and put a couple in the next one and a couple in the one after that. And we'll just try and change it up a little bit until we find a happy medium that everybody will be commenting saying, oh, I love that tune. So don't forget as well, though, all those tunes, they're free to use. YouTube music library, so they're not actually ones that I've downloaded, they're all on there. People do always ask. Guys, I'm starting to waffle on, the video's already quite long, so we will leave it there. Don't forget, if you haven't already, consider subscribing, turn on the notification bell, and follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds for the little sneak peeks. Like, subscribe and share, check out the merchandise, the link is in the description, and we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.